Hello and welcome back to our channel, uh, Cloud Unlocked, the podcast where we stray away from the jargon, pull back to the curtain, and the most powerful technologies shaping our digital world. Genuinely have a good conversation doing it. I am your host Mansi, and oh my goodness, I have a great for you today. You know the conversation where we walk away feeling like you have leveled up, like your brain is fizzing with new ideas. That exactly what today is going to be. We are doing deep research, I mean deep into one of the most important open source technologies in cloud computing, that is OpenStack. And my guest today, she is an AIDA student, Diksha. Welcome, Diksha.
Mansi, that's introduced me a butterflies. Thank you so much. I am so happy here. I have been waiting for the talk for the OpenStack in front of a long term because I feel like it does not getting a manifest attention that deserves.
That's exactly why we are doing this. Okay, before we dive in, tell us, listener, about a little bit about yourself. Who is the Diksha outside of cloud computing?
Oh wow, the personal question first. Okay, I am currently third year students of artificial intelligence and data science engineering. I am someone who is genuinely feels love with the how system works under the hoods. Like most people's know services even every day for a Google Drive, Netflix, banking, and never think about what actually runs all of that. And crucially, it's pull me towards the interface and cloud computing. And then I discover OpenStack and finding the engine room in the internet.
The engineer of the internet. I love it. We are using that our episode. Okay. All right. Let's go into it. So Diksha, let's start at the very beginning because we have listeners who are absolutely beginners and listeners who are already in tech. Set the scene for everyone. What is OpenStack?
Perfectly. So imagine you have to build your own version of Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure. But instead of paying millions of technology gains and handling them your own data, to do it itself on your own hardware with complete control, that's its OpenStack. Technically speaking, with OpenStack, it is an open source cloud computing system that falls under the category of infrastructure as a service or as there are three main jobs to managing compute. That's mean virtual machines are processing power storage, both structured and unstructured data, and networking makes sure that everything stocks everything with everything else. And there is all completely free. There is no license. It is evenly full of free of cost.
Wait, so it is literally free to use.
Yes, yes, completely free and open source. The code is fully free, available on GitHub, and everything was starting in startup for a university and government can download it, deploy it on their own services, and have a full blow private cloud running. You can pay for a hardware and on your operation teams, but the software isn't it has a zero cost.
That's a genuinely wild because we are talking about technology that completely with the OL, AWS and Azure platforms that companies spend millions and annually.
Exactly. That's why OpenStack is a massive in a sectors like banking, healthcare, government, and telecommunication. Anywhere you need to be service cloud capacity, but also need to keep your data on premise for security and regularity reasons. You cannot throw your hospital patient records onto AWS, but right now adopts completely data surrogates, and OpenStack solve all of these problems.
So it's just a budget alternative. It actually the only viable option for certain industries.
That's such a great point, Mansi. For creating regular industry, it's just even a choice between OpenStack and AWS. It's the OpenStack and nothing, because the data literally cannot live, creating geographic or physical boundaries.
Okay, listeners, are you already hooked? Because I am. Okay, let's deep dive into the history. So, Diksha, every great technology has its original story. So, what's OpenStack?
Oh, the original story is so good. OpenStack was born in 2010, so it about 15 years old now, and it's come from the laboratory between two very unlike partners, that is NASA and Space, which is cloud hosting companies.
Oh, NASA, the space agency.
Yes, NASA. They are actually running a cloud interface internally called Nebula, which manage compute resources for their researching. And Rask Space, meanwhile, has built a real robust object storage system called Cloud Files. They both realized they were solving their similar problems and decided to manage their work and realize into a world and open source.
I love that. Two organizations, completely different industries solving the same problem and going, hey, let's just give this to everyone.
Yes, and what's happened next in the real magic of open source is that once they realize it and communicate experts, within a few years, companies like Intel, IBM, Red Hat, HP, these are the massive names, all started contributing codes, funding, and engineering talents.
So, how big is the community tree?
So right now, OpenStack is overly 200 contribution companies and more than 60,000 individual contribution. Globally, 60,000 people are around the world who are writing codes, fixing bugs, and writing documents. All of this in a single cloud source project.
60,000, that's bigger than a lot of cities in Maharashtra.
Yes, exactly. And the growth chart is really telling from 2010 to 2015, that is rapidly growth. And from 2015 to 2020, it is become a enterprise standard. So private cloud and the 20, and from 2020 onwards, especially post pandemic where digital transformation went into overdrive, OpenStack has been biggest wave of opportunity, particularly in telecommunication and 5G interface.
5G. So, when we are using our phones on 5G networks,
There is a very real change in an interface. Handling your calls and data requests is running on OpenStack. Companies like Iraq, Chick, or Nokia used it extremely in the telephone cloud development.
okay, mind blown. Okay, I need a moment. All right, let's get technical. Tell me about the architecture.
So exactly, and this movement design is honestly in the OpenStack mostly uh, brilliant architecture design. Each model is specifically projected in independent development, but they are work together through a well developed APIs. Let me talk you that each one, because understanding this module is really understanding those cloud computing working at a fundamental level.
Yes, give us the full tour. Take us through each module like you are our tour guide and in the engine room.
Okay, engine room tour. Let's go. First stop is Nova. The compute engine. Nova is absolutely across a open stack, and it is responsible for everything related to virtual machine. Spinning them, managing this life cycle, scheduling, and across physical services, that is CPU and RAM. Where we say I want a virtual machine, Nova is the thing that makes that happen. Think of Nova as a brain of the operation. It receives requests, decide which physical services is available.
Okay, so when a company says that they have cloud, Nova is what actually creating and managing all those virtual machines or computers.
Yes, Nova supports multiple hypervisors, KVM and VMware, which are not locked into a single virtual technology. They flexibly huge use.
Okay, then next model.
Next module is Neutron, the networking module. Neutron is responsible for all things networking. It create and manage virtual network routers and IP addresses.
Okay, so it's like the roads and the highways between all virtual machines.
Yes, exactly. Perfect metaphor. Nova creates a client that is a VM, and the Neutron build the road connected them and the firewall, and like toll both control who get through.
Okay, I love it. Keep going.
Next is the Keystone, the identified services. Now, Keystone is a security backbone of the entire system that handle authentication, specifics whose are authenticates that allows to do using a role-based access control and RBS that's manage the token-based security.
Okay, so Keystone is like a security guard at the entrance who checks everyone's ID before they can enter any room or in building.
Yes, that is exactly what Keystone is doing, and it's not just a yes or no. It also you can enter room A and room B, but not room C. That is the RBAC part.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm understanding cloud computing better in this conversation, and I have from any course or article. Diksha, you have a gift.
Okay, thank you for this talking storage, because OpenStack actually have their three separate storage modules can understanding in different in a real important. First is a glance, the image services. Glance is a library of VM disk image where you want to launch a Ubuntu or a Windows. Glance store the relative manage and the image that supports format like QCs and rows.
Okay, so it's like a template library. You pick your OS template, you use it to the stamp out the VMs.
Exactly. A glance also handle snapshot. So if you have a customized or VM which is specifically software installed, you can take a snapshot of it and save it in Glance. They used as a new template for future VMs.
Okay, that's incredibly useful. What's the second storage include?
Second storage, it is a Clinder, that is a block storage. Clinder provides a presidential volume. Think of it and attached to the external hard disk to a virtual machine. They can a VM need to store data.
Okay, so it's the difference between the RAM, which is temporary, and the hard drive, which keeps your data.
Perfect. VM stores informations and disapparently when the VM dies, Clinder stores it permanently.
And the third storage module?
And the third storage is a Swift, that is a object storage. Swift is a massive scale understanding data, thinking image, videos, backups, logs, archives, anything is not a structured database. It is a distributed across multiple services.
Okay, so to summarize, the three glance is a templates. Cinder is basically the hard drive attached to your VM, and Swift is a client warehouse of everything else, right?
Yes, that is the most perfect three sentences summarize of OpenStack storage that I have not heard.
Okay, I have a moment. Can you tell about two more modules?
Yes, last two models are first is Horizon. It is the dashboard Horizon, that is a web-based graphical interface. It is the face of OpenStack administrator and end user log into Horizon to manage their VM, configure network, browse storage, and do all these lines in a design go and give a clear browser-based experience.
So Horizon is an app you actually see and click around in.
As exactly everything you talk about Nova, Neutron, Keystone, Glance.
And the final one?
And the last is a hit. That hit is taken takes as an open step from useful tools to enterprise powerhouse. Hit uses LM LM templates called hot templates, which stand for hit orchestration templates to define an entire entire code. You want 50 virtual machine, 10 loaded balance, specific neutrons, and configure auto scaling rules.
Okay. So instead of human clicking around for hours, set up 100 servers, it does it in minutes in the text file.
Yes, in a minute and rapidly, you can save templates in a 10 different environment and get difficult result at every time and great code and then model dev oops in build on.
Okay, Diksha, we have got 8 modules and I understood every single one. Krishna, are you impressed as him? Let's talk breather and we are going to talk about something super exciting. So, what actually happens when you create a virtual machine step by step?
Oh, I love that. Okay, let's give us a user a name. Her name is Priya. Priya is a data scientist at a pharmacological company where team need a new service to run machine learning experience. She opened her company private cloud powered by the Openstack in her browser.
Okay, so she is looking at horizon.
Exactly. She's on the Horizon dashboard. She click launch instance file and details. She want to Ubuntu 22.4 machine which is with have 8 GPU and 16 GB of RAM and 10 GB of data volume. She click launch and now what's happened in a millisecond after the launching she requested first a hit keystone. Keystone said, "Who is Priya? Is the authenticator? Does the role he created VM? Does she have quite reminder if all check pass keystone issue and secure tokens and the authentication request move forward?"
Okay, security first. That I love it. So coming to the last part, that is the wrap up on one of the absolute favorite episodes of the Cloud Uncloud. We went deep in on OpenStack, the origin story, all 8 core modules, VM workflows, deployment modules, India's cloud landscape, career advice, and much more. I hope you walked away from the feeling like genuinely understand something powerful. If this episode added value to your life, share it. Share it with the students who are curious about the cloud. Share it with the engineer who is heard about of OpenStack but never dug in. Share it with the friend who thinks tech podcasts are boring. This will change your mind. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Drop a review. It means the world, and it's always keep exploring, keep questioning, keep building. This is Mansi signing off from the Cloud Unlocked. See you on the next one.
Okay, thank you.